Coming up on Look Today, well, the Adirondack Regional Chamber of Commerce has named a new CEO and president, and we spoke to him today. And the Town of Milton is undergoing a last-minute fundraising campaign to save a piece of property. I've got those details. And we've got continuing coverage of the proposed federal legislation that may cut low-income housing subsidies right here in our area. I've got those details. All ahead on Look Today. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jay Hood Jackson, and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program, I sit down with June Waters. She's Executive Director of the World Awareness Children's Museum in Glens Falls, and she's here to talk about an event the museum is hosting this weekend. I also sit down with Lisa and Ed Mitson. Now, they're two philanthropists in Saratoga Springs who are recipients of this year's Citizens of the Year Award. Plus, we got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, the Adirondack Regional Chamber of Commerce has named a new CEO and president. Michael Biddle will take the reins starting today. Now, we had the opportunity to speak to Michael earlier today.
This is the most beautiful place to live in the country, in the world. We have such great stuff here. I am so psyched to be here today. This is my first day, but it's really not my first day. I've lived in this area since 2002. This is beautiful. I raised my family here. We wouldn't want to raise them anywhere else. So I'm anxious to get started. I've got a great team here, and we're ready to go and see great heights.
Good luck, Michael. In other news, well, the Town of Milton is undergoing a last-minute fundraising project to purchase Camp Boyhaven after an anonymous donor rescinded his offer of $500,000. You guessed it, the town is now scrambling to purchase the land. Well, the town will meet tomorrow night to discuss whether they will try to bond the full amount of that property, $1 million. Now, Milton is also partnering with Saratoga Plan. We spoke to Larry Woolbright. He's the chairman of the planning board for the Town of Milton about this.
This is the largest privately held undeveloped parcel in the town. The town is growing very rapidly. We're rapidly suburbanizing. We're right off the Northway. We're in that Northway corridor. And this is a beautiful piece of property with 100-year-old forests on it and a mile of the Cateros Creek, which is one of the biggest creeks in the area and the main source of water for Saratoga Lake. And we would really love to see it preserved and available for people to use for passive recreation rather than become another subdivision.
I'm sure a lot of people would like to see that land preserved. All right, switching from news to weather. What about this weather? We had rain. We had a little bit of snow yesterday. It was cold over the weekend. Well, let's see how the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thanks, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Bonster with your first look weather update on Look TV. Here's our national satellite and radar from earlier today. You can see plenty of dry weather. Here comes a low pressure system, though, over the Capital District. So we're in for a little bit of a stormy weather pattern, at least during the overnight hours. You can see that low pressure dominates our forecast for tonight. It'll pull off the Atlantic coast as we go along on Tuesday as well as Tuesday night. So scatter showers, sorry you need the umbrellas. Mainly cloudy, 40 the overnight low. We'll have a northwest wind going calm. And as we take a look at our day planner, looks like we're in for a drier forecast as we go along in the morning, mid to upper 40s. When we get through the 7 and 9 a.m. hours, we'll eventually clear out. Besides, maybe a few morning showers, very early morning showers, as highs will be very spring-like. Upper 60s are expected. We'll have a southwest wind of 5 miles per hour. 48 the overnight low, and then we'll reach a high of 80 degrees on Wednesday, and we'll have that overnight low of 59 for Wednesday night. So comfortable to get out there and just enjoy what had been a very long winter with a lot of snow, a lot of cold weather as well. We have 80s in the forecast. We have 70s for Thursday and Friday, but the umbrellas will be required, at least for the time being, with a 60% chance of storms. Next cold front really approaches by the weekend. That was your forecast on First Look Weather on Look TV. I'm meteorologist Clarence Bonster. Now I send you back to you, Jesse.
Thanks, Clarence. 80 degrees on Wednesday. Spring is back. And back to the news. We have continuing coverage of how proposed federal legislation could drastically affect low-income housing subsidies in our area. Over the past 10 years, funding for New York State Housing Authority has been cut on a year-to-year basis. Now, while this year is comparatively better than other years, next year could see some of the biggest cuts. Well, we spoke to an advocate for low-income families, former mayor of Saratoga, Joanne Yepsen. Now, as mayor, you might remember, she worked extensively with HUD on this topic, and we spoke to her about increasing rents for low-income families.
The housing authorities definitely need more income, but for them to produce more income on the backs of poor people is just wrong. It's uncreative, and it doesn't really solve a problem. All it does is going to be creating new problems.
Up next, I sit down with June Waters. She's executive director of the World Awareness Children's Museum in Glens Falls, and she's here to talk about an event the museum is hosting this weekend. And I also sit down with Lisa and Ed Mitzen. Now, they're two philanthropists in Saratoga Springs who are recipients of this year's Citizens of the Year Award. It's well deserved. First, you see news happening, you want to share a story idea. How about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. It's Monday, so we like to look ahead. Boy, what a week we've got coming up. We're premiering a brand new series called A Look at Law. All kinds of issues affecting citizens and the law. Also, another installment of our weekly series, A Look at Veterans. I can't tell you the number of people that are stopping me and talking to us about A Look at Veterans. All kinds of issues being discussed in this series. The Dake Foundation is coming in this week. Jonathan Newell is coming in. The Moses of music, and I'll explain that when he comes in on Wednesday. And Saratoga Plan is coming in as well. Tonight on Look TV, we're premiering a brand new show. It's called Warren Watch, hosted by none other than Mark Westcott. Anyone who follows this program or knows about politics in Warren County knows that Mark is very involved with all issues concerning taxpayer dollars. This is going to be an amazing series, and we'll be running the heck out of it right here on Look Media platforms. All right, tonight on Look TV, it's Beyond the Headlines and Tracks. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.